Welcome to Dream Garage, the podcast where we put together a dream car collection. Each week there'll be a new theme with a specific budget. We'll browse classifieds and decide on which car we would buy for our dream garage. Last week it was a supercar for 65k. We went big, we went bold, and we got ourselves a McLaren. This week we're going to find out what we can buy for £1,000. Okay? Hopefully, I'm going to prove that you can get something interesting and usable, maybe a bit rough around the edges, for £1,000. We'll call it a shed, shall we? And see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So as you can see, there's over 2,000 cars here for up to £1,000. We're going to filter and sort by price, high to low. So what have we got here? We've got a Fiesta, a few Fiestas, 1.25. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to see what's private. I don't know why, just always like privates. Private sales. So we've got a Mini. So we're going to have a lot of category probably. Cat N, Cat S. We've got an FRV, Galaxy, Land Rover Freelander, Ford KA, Astra, Clio, Grande Punto. Well, this has only done 68,000 miles, okay. 1.4 manual, looks okay in the pictures. Sometimes you just, cars just depreciate, right? And they're just not worth much. So what's wrong with this one? It's a manual 1.4. Brilliant car, make an amazing first car or cheap runaround, cheap insurance, even with the 1.4 engine. Lovely to drive. Has service history. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it, but let's run an MOT check on it. So BJ07UBH. BJ07UGH. Oh, no. UBH, sorry. That's a Citroen. Fiat Punto. It's got a year's MOT on it. Okay, what's up with it? Stop lamps not working. Well, they're just advisories. Front disc worn, fine. It failed on a lambda reading, but it's now passed, so they must have done something to sort that out. Some suspension issues, oil leak, transmission, probably sorted it because it was a few years ago. It's only done 68,000 miles. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. It's up for £1,000. It's a Punto. It's a 2007 manual. It's only done 68,000 miles. Already we found something interesting that's worth looking at. Puntos, they're not bad cars. A Corolla Verso, if you want a load lugger, a few dents and scrapes, but that will sort your family out. Fresh MOT, bodywork is a bit rough in places. Yeah, see, when that happens, people just start to lose love for their cars. They just want to get rid of it, get something newer, more interesting, more modern, etc. But you can pick up a bargain if you're willing to have something a bit older. Here's a CLK. Oh, it's a 200, but what is it? CLK 200, 127,000. Purchase a run around, no longer needed, it's just sat there. I can't run the reg on that, but these aren't worth much. The biggest problem with these is the bodywork. But do you know what? Who cares? It's £1,000. If there's a bit of rust, who cares, right? It actually looks quite tidy. But this is clearly someone that just bought it and has no love for it. It's a smaller engine one. It's one of the least desirable ones, but it's £1,000, and it's still got leather seats. It's got plenty of life in it. That engine and transmission are absolutely solid. There's no problem with that. They use that on loads of things. So we've got a Fiesta, more modern one, Zetec S. A few dents. Had head gasket, water pump, clutch, welding, and brake pads. Okay, it looks like it's had work done to it, but it might need more money spent on it, probably. Which is okay, I don't mind that. Why is it so cheap? $136,000 miles. Don't know if it's MOT'd. Sold as seen. Maybe that's why it's cheap. Say Ibiza, Clio, PD, Passat, and I know you can tune those. Diesel. Excellent little runaround. Swift, MG Midget. Well, Jaguar XF if you're willing to fix it up, but it's probably got some serious problems in it. C70 manual. This has probably got a problem with the roof or something, I don't know. Looks alright. It's only done 57,000 miles. Roof not working, yeah. Roof not working, only done 57,000 miles. 11 months MOT, lots of service history. New clutch, new cam belt. Wow, it has had a lot spent on it. Makes a bleeping noise when driving due to roof not working. Well, it says 2,500 open to offers, but now they've obviously just reduced it because they want to get rid of it. That's a bargain. Like, obviously, you could probably just disconnect that sensor or something and drive it fine. They're annoyed with it and they want to get rid of it. It's got 11 months MOT on it. It's a C70 manual. It's a nice looking car. You might be able to fix that roof. It might be expensive. Who cares? If you don't have the roof down, fine. Again, you paid £1,000 for it. Renault Wind. I derided this. I think in one of the early episodes. What is going on with that? It's been crashed. Okay. It looks like it's half pink, half blue. Slight damage to the front, they say. Yeah. Hyundai Coupe, like the first gen. I always remember when these were advertised. It was like the best-selling coupe in Italy or something at the time when these first came out, and they were quite attractive. It's got a lot of rust around it. I know I said who cares? Like, really, who cares? But this is very visible in the Merc. It looked fine. That's probably okay. It is a rare car. Depends how far gone it is in terms of the rust. I mean, most of the time when the rust goes, you can repair it surface level, but if you want it done properly, you have to cut all the metal out and re-weld it, and it's not worth it for a lot of these cars. It's an automatic. It's interesting. I haven't seen one of those for sale for a long time, but I'm not going to push that any further. Well, I'll go on then. I'll go for it. We'll see what else we end up with. It is interesting. I've already got a coupe though, and I know I've got a CLK here. Corolla 107, 208, Ibiza. Really, I just want something that's going to be able to get me from A to B and be a bit different, really. I expect probably to be able to have to spend some money on it. This is a TFSI A4 Cabriolet, 145,000 miles on the clock. It's been in the same family since new. Next service due February 25. Sorry, it's due a service. Slip out of gear. It's probably got some. Sounds like it's got some transmission problems. Don't really want to go there. $407. The newer Hyundai Coupe, X-Type, they're cheap. Free Series. A Mito. Multi-air Lusso hatchback, 135 brake horsepower. These are good little cars, you know. What's wrong with it? Part service history. I mean, that engine's pretty good. I had a Giulietta with a 170 multi-air. They did a 170 Mito as well. That was a Cloverleaf. They did a 155 as well. This is the 135 one, but it should be pretty nippy. It's probably not going to pull up 8.5 seconds. That's not bad, is it? It looks like it needs some love, but what do you expect for £1,000? 97,000 miles. Lots of XFs, diesel, 2.7 non-runner. A couple of them have come up. A Megane. These are nice looking cars. Great runner, 12 months MOT, price to go off 6. Yeah, see, like people just don't like, they reach the point with a car and they just like, get it off my hands, I want something else. There's so many bargains, 980 quid. Prelude, Motegi, 132 brake horsepower, underbody sound, rust. Yeah, these do rust. Looks alright though. A lot of these are automatics. It feels like a manual. It needs to be a manual. Mini Cooper. Mini convertible. Well, there's that Alfa Romeo. The one that we bought in week 1 is still there. I'm going to say it's not there because we've already got it in our collection. Why is it still there, everyone? Why was it still there? People were scared. They're scared. There's plenty of cars that are cheap, that are fine. Don't be scared. You just got to look carefully and realise it's not a new car. There's going to be dents, scratches, scrapes, and if you check the coolant, check the oil, make sure the tyres are okay, and it's got decent-ish MOT history, and it's been serviced regularly, then you're probably going to be okay. Solid car at great price. It's just got some panel damage. These Saabs were based on the Vauxhalls. Yeah, it's got some scratches. The aerials come off. It's got some dents. Probably be fine to run around in. It's got that leather interior. I know these had look at that sat nav. These had electrical gremlins with the alarms. My mum had one. Put it on the list. Look, this is interesting. This is exciting. Is everyone excited? I am. Old Focus. How many of these that are still on the road? Like loads of these. I see a lot of these on the road. This first gen Focus, very, very solid, good cars. How many other cars do you see of that vintage on the road? Not many, but the Focuses I see a lot of. Do you see many Focuses where you are? Maybe it's just me down in Essex. Oh, Celica. Hang on. So this is 190 brake horsepower Celica. It's done nearly 250,000 miles. Has it just been sat there for aeons? What's up with it? T-Sport. MOT. It's MOT'd. Wow, that is cheap. It's on a sky-high mileage, but, you know, it's probably been relied on and been serviced regularly. 190 brake horsepower there. some interesting stuff. Right, okay, I'm going to just do a cheeky little filter swap and see, just out of curiosity, engine power. We got 8 cars with a minimum of 200 brake horsepower. What are they? Probably all broken. Spares and repairs, non-runner, spares and repairs, a 330D. It says read ad, probably. Spares and repairs. Yeah, okay, so we don't really want a spares and repairs, do we? Chrysler Crossfire, the car that no one wants. Manual gearbox. It's based on an SLK. Fun to drive. Yeah, they're not many on the roads. Car's been stood for long. It needs a fair bit of work. It needs an MOT, some welding work. It's a shame. Non-runner. CLK. Good bodywork and engine. It's got someone sat on it. Okay, it's interesting. Interesting pictures. Looks like it's not very well loved. They want 500 quid for it. Okay, so it's got some electrical issues. Airbags need work, probably a sensor, or something needs resetting with a diagnostic. Some bumper cap. Like this looks like someone that just doesn't, like, just wants to get rid of their car. 500 quid for a CLK 320 convertible. I mean, it probably doesn't need much work by the sounds of it, but you never know. And there's some more interesting cars that I've got. So let's just see what we've got with the 150 brake horsepower. Freelander, CLK 200, I've favourite that. I've got the C70 already. A4 we looked at, but we didn't want a Passat 20 valve turbo. Interesting. C-Class X-Type. Honda Accord. CRV. Probably the most reliable car ever made. I've actually got a Mark III CRV. And they are really good cars. Shout out CRV crew. Oh, here we go. Giulietta 170. What's wrong with this? High mileage. It's alright. They're not bad. They're fine. 900 quid. What? Well, that RJ 11 NXA. RJ 11 NXA. So this is what I recommend you're doing. Checking your MOT is absolutely free on the government website. Oil leak, not excessive. Rear exhaust is a minor leak. So it needs an exhaust. You need to investigate the oil leak. Needs some suspension work. Could be, yeah, it could be problematic. Is it worth a gamble? Don't know. It's got a dent in it as well. Okay, let's have a preliminary, just like, have another look at here. What have we got? Anything? SLK, V70, diesel, Kia Sportage. What? Kia Sorento, sorry. Head gasket gone. Okay, right. Let's see what we've got saved. It's decision time. We've got the Alfa Romeo Giulietta 1.4 TB multi-air with nearly 150,000 miles on the clock. It's 170 brake horsepower though. Manual, 2011. 940 quid. It's probably got, it needs money spent on it. It's got an oil problem. But the MOT is, it's got an MOT until, well, not long on an MOT. It's only got another month on it. So that's probably why they're selling it so cheap. Let's rule that out. Celica, very high mileage, 250,000 miles. At least you know it's reliable. It's probably been relied on and looked after as a result. Saab 9.3, Interesting cars. Megane, cheap. A Mito, another Alfa Romeo. A Hyundai Coupe. A C70, 57,000 miles. A CLK, a Grande Punto for £1,000. So the CLK is 127,000 miles. The Punto's 68,000 miles. The C70 is 57,000 miles. The Hyundai Coupe's 59. The Mito's 97,000. The Renault Megane 105,000. The Saab 119,000. And Celica 242,000 miles. And they're all about 900 quid. But you could probably get some of these, you could probably get a significant amount of money off because it looks like that they're just fed up with it and they want to get rid of it. The Mercedes is one of those. The Volvo is one of them. The Megane is one of them. So you might be able to haggle with those. The Punto is so cheap already. I think you would struggle to get much off that. You might be able to get 50 quid off that. And then you've got the Celica, which is a bit of a wild card because it's got such a high mileage on it. It's the fastest, probably it's the fastest car here, I'd say. 190 brake horsepower. But do you know what? I think I quite fancy the Volvo. And do you know why? It's not the fastest car in the world. It's got 170 brake horsepower. How fast is it? It looks like it's been very well looked after. Lots of service history. It's a new clutch and a new cam belt. They've just spent money on it, and it just needs some. The roof doesn't work. That might be a sensor. It might be an electrical fault. It still drives. It still drives, and it still works, and it's got a long MOT on it. It's done low mileage, and if you can treat that as like a running project and get those electrical gremlins sorted out, you've got yourself a decent car there that you're not going to lose any money on. Okay, so it's done 57,000 miles. You could put another 20,000 miles on that, sort it out, and probably get your money back, if not make more money, if you can fix that roof. So there's my choice. It's a Volvo C70 2.4 convertible, 2-door, petrol, manual, 170 brake horsepower. It's done just shy of 60,000 miles. It's a 2006 model. And I'm going to see if we can get that for 900 quid. There you go. You can get an interesting, decent-ish car. If you don't mind something a little bit older with some minor little faults in it, you can pick them up cheap. Thanks very much for watching. What do you think? Would you have chosen something else? Let me know in the comments. And tune in next time. See you later. Bye.